and welcome to the Reveal the Legend Within world-class interviews. Going to start again. Sorry.
Okay.
World-class speaker interviews. Hello, and welcome to the world-class speaker interviews for the True Story Festival. And today's guest is a very special woman who I happen to have met through this period of disturbance or chaos or whatever it is that we're going to be calling this time that we're going through, these extraordinary times. And I feel incredibly fortunate because she was exactly the woman that we all need to meet in this time for what she has to tell us about how to live through this and to not just live, but to see something very special in it. So without further ado, I would really like to welcome the multi-award winning marketing and sales visionary, whose favourite award is the WTF award, Marie Hale. Welcome, Marie. So lovely to have you today.
Melanie, I love every opportunity I get to chat with you, and I'm so thankful that you have invited me to share my story and to be part of your festival.
Well, there's no way in heck that I wasn't going to invite you after hearing your story, because it is quite literally one of the most extraordinary ones. It's a story of grief, but it's a grief on almost every pillar of our lives. And I'm really not the person to tell it. So could I just invite you to start wherever it is you normally start when you think about this story of yours?
It's a beautiful way to ask that question, because I always start with love. When I was 24, 25, and I knew everything, I fell in love with this striking man who became my sales coach, because of course I was going to buy whatever he was selling. And I spent 10 years loving him and not being able to call him my family. And then one day I looked around and I had everything I had ever wanted. He was my life partner. We had started a business together. I had a beautiful 5-year-old bombshell of a baby girl that I'd been dreaming about since I was 7 years old. And every day we would walk in Chicago to drop her off at daycare and get on the Brown line and hold hands, all of us, all the way there, and hold hands all the way to the office. And we created this business that was helping other businesses, which was always our dream. And 7 months later, he passed. And I didn't find out until the daycare called me to say that he didn't pick her up. And I still have the bath mat that he took his last breath on. And everything was gone. And I picked myself up because I had 3 weeks to figure out what I was going to do with our family business, if I was going to do his job, which that was a big one, and how I was going to live, because we had just invested every dime we had to open this business. And so I put on some red lipstick so that people would not look at my eyes when I was walking down the street. And I kept on. And that was in February. And in September, they found a bit of cancer right in the middle of my face. And they told me that it might be nothing, it might be really bad. We're going to go in and we're going to keep cutting until it's gone. And I ended up with a hole the size of a cigar butt right between my lip and my nose. And they told me that I would be fairly deformed for most of my life. And I put on my red lipstick, because even if my lip was touching my nose on one side, it's where I took my strength from. And so I was going to keep on. And my mom and my best friend carried me through that. And then I got the biggest blessing ever in that my ride or die, my best girlfriend, came to live with me and help me take care of my baby girl and run my business. And one day she couldn't make it up the stairs after we picked our little girl up from camp. And when I took her to the hospital, we sat and we waited and waited, and I couldn't figure out why a nun kept circling and walking past my daughter and I. Turns out she had passed 15 minutes after we got her to the hospital. And so at that point, I had lost my chosen family, all of my financial security, my self-identity. And my perception of what life was supposed to be. And I think a lot of people are there right now. Everything in life has changed. And what I don't think the world sees is that this is grief. Everyone is grieving in their own way. And I know that my story is not unique. There are many people out there that have lost tremendously. But I also know that there is something special in seeing a completely scorched earth and having a piece of yourself that you can carry forward so that there is something to grow when everything seems to have shattered.
I mean, from my perspective, Marie, I'm like, how? I mean, that's just the question. I mean, that is like a wholesale loss in every area. Love, business, as you say, family, the chosen family, that's really special. You still have to be a mother to the bombshell. And it wasn't just a friend, it was the friend, the ride or die, the woman who was prepared to live with you and help you bring up your daughter through this. And before you could recover, like, she was gone, and you were facing I mean, this red lipstick that you put on so that, you know, people wouldn't look at your eyes. This is a hashtag of yours. I still wear red is the hashtag. But so your face, you were putting on a face for the world, and you had like cancer in your own face as well. The thing that you were wearing to wear through this. So, I mean, I'm just like, how do you see what there is in this torched landscape?
So there is this magic that happens when you grieve. You run out of energy. You run out of fucks to give for things that don't matter. And to me, that was one of the most beautiful moments of my life, when I really looked at it and said, you know what? It's not my job to make this okay for you. And I had to grieve publicly and on brand and maintain the faith of our clients and our prospects that we could still do what we do and create the magic that was us while grieving.
Yeah, I don't know how you've just made me laugh during this, but that's the Marie I really love and resonate with. So like, when you run out of fucks to give, what happens? All that stuff outside, there's something changes inside?
The most beautiful change. When you stop worrying about other people's needs before your own, you find that seed within you. And it may be a sesame seed, or it may be an avocado seed or an acorn. But there is something left inside of you that you can anchor to. And you get to this place of only being able to invest in what is truly going to serve you and keep you going. And it's trust me, a well-earned moment of clarity. And I hope that nobody has to go through those fires to get there. But the absolute magic of finding what is left in you that is worth nourishing and feeding, and even if it's not ready to grow, keeping it safe until, that is the absolute gift that you were born with and that the world deserves from you. And so from that place of devastation, from that place of absolute desolate, scorched earth, you have a fertile place to grow something big and wild and beautiful. But you've got to make a choice.
And that's why you're saying right now, that's what the gift in the times that we're living in right now.
Yeah, baby, the world is on fire. There are little fires everywhere. And whether you have lost family members during this time, or loved ones, or you have lost your identity in your career, or you have lost the ability to go outside and see the other humans, and you kind of liked the other humans before all this started.
If you've just lost what feels like a normal day, if you've just lost sense of a track of time during this time, the seed in all of this is the purpose or the chance to let all of that go and find whatever it is that's just precious, that's here, that's us.
Right. And, I got to tell you, I haven't talked to a single mom who misses taking kids to 3 different sports events a day and running herself ragged because it's what she's supposed to do. And I think that as we go through this, we've got this absolutely brilliant opportunity to, if it hasn't already burnt to the ground for you, burn it down yourself. I'll give you the matches. But we have a chance to make our lives completely different and not worry about what other people think of us, what we're supposed to do, who we're supposed to be in this world, because we are in a time of amazing shift. And it hurts. And it hurts. And so there's a beauty in being able to see and honor the grief that others are experiencing and that you're experiencing, and choose yourself. And choose now as the time to make use of that beautifully nutrient-rich, charred earth that is sitting before us.
I love the way you see it as a nutrient-rich, charred earth. And it is true, when the bushfire comes through, the green shoots grow. But we are those. And I love the way you put it, that what we're supposed to be and what we're actually supposed to be. We spend a lot of time trying to be the supposed to be. We're supposed to be a great wife, mother, friend, colleague, all these things. And then there's what we're really supposed to be. And what we have now is the chance to be that.
Absolutely. And I got to tell you, I think as people look around and think about the supposed to be's, especially when it comes to career or, the way that they see themselves in society, they're going to see that they were doing a lot of work that nobody gave a shit about. That didn't really mean anything, but it was in some playbook that they had, but they're like, oh, this is what a good mother does, or this is what a good employee does.
Or
And
even what a
nobody
good
cared,
CEO does, or a good, executive does.
right? And nobody cared. Nobody cared. It may have made you feel like you were checking something off of your supposed to be list. But what if you're supposed to be is so radically different that it changes the world? And you were too busy doing the other things that you didn't let it grow.
Hallelujah, sister. Now that's it. Yeah. What if what you're supposed to be is so radically different it could change the world? Is a call to action. If things hadn't burnt to the ground already, I'd be taking those matches off you. I just want to thank you so much. I cannot wait to see you at the festival. But in case anybody hasn't really taken something away from our conversation, what is that one thing that you would like everyone to take away from our conversation today?
As we have learned, shit's going to happen. The things that you have control of are not extrinsic. They're intrinsic. So if you choose you and you choose now, you take back control when everything is on fire. I
Ooh.
want that for every person in the world.
I had to shake that one off. Just electricity. Oh, that is so amazing. I really can't wait for everybody to come and hear your story heart to heart and eye to eye at the festival. And I thank you so much for taking part. And, in fact, you're the speaker that is going to take away the whole event. You're going to finish us off. You're the, I hate to say the word climax, but you're the,
You can say that about me. I'm okay with that one.
yeah, I rather think you are. So, thank you again. I will see you on the other side at the festival. And I thank you for being you and for choosing you and choosing now and asking us to do that too. You're amazing. You're my heart sister. I love you.
Love you too. I'll see you at the festival.
I'll see you on the other side.